What's going on, YouTube? Hey, so today we're going to be talking about something special. We're going to be talking about Asfir. In one of my previous videos, I introduced to you the Asfir skid plate that covers the very front of the vehicle, right from the very front bumper to about where the diff drop is at. And that right there, it replaces that flimsy fiberglass / plastic skid plate, and it replaced it with a nice 1/4 inch thick aluminum plate with all the proper bends. So today we're going to install and do a little review on the Asfir gas tank skid plate for the LX470. Now, I know right now, if you're watching this video, you're wondering, hey, is this also going to fit the 100 series Land Cruiser or the Toyota brand? And right now, I don't know. You'll have to check on their website often. I know that they have a prototype in the works, but this one was fitted to a Lexus LX470. Let me show you what came in the box. So what came in the box is some of the boring stuff. Sticker, although I'm pretty excited about the sticker. And then of course, instructions and hardware. Now, the skid plate has all the proper holes for mounting, all the proper bends to fit for your LX470 gas tank. Now on the product list you have three different types of spacer nuts, and then you have some pocket washers and bolts. Now this plate right here is also made out of 1/4 inch aluminum. It weighs 22 pounds, and with the instructions it'll give you all the specs on size and as well as where to put those spacer nuts at. So let's crawl underneath there and take a look at what we have right now. So your gas tanks can be located right below your left rear passenger door on the driver's side. This skid plate is made out of a thin steel, and I've actually heard from some people that if they live in an area that has lots of moisture, snow, or they salt the roads, that this could potentially rust out. Essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking the Asfir skid plate and we're going to be attaching it to the existing skid plate that's in place. We'll be placing the spacer nuts in these drain holes shown here. So this isn't necessarily a instruction sheet. What this is, and I figured that Asfir will probably come up with some sort of instruction sheet, but judging by what this is just a parts list, and of course it'll tell you about the size bolts as well as what to torque them down to. Parts list is that you're going to have these pocket washers, these split washers, right? 4 of them, 4 bolts, as well as these different size spacer nuts. So these two are going to be on the front of the skid, and then you'll have these two on the back side. And then you'll see the corresponding holes in the back of the skid on the original skid, not the Asfir skid, in which these two will go into. So let's go on down there and see what we can do. Shouldn't take too long to do this install. So here's the front, and what you do is you feed this in here. It's got to go in there. Just look at that. So this one went in, and it's tight. Let's see, it's kind of hard to do with one hand here, but essentially what I did is I put it in, kind of wiggled it around, because it's a tight fit, and you want to make sure that the flat portion is flush. Oops. You want to make sure this flat portion is flush with the hole, because when we put the skid plate up, we're going to try to lightly get the bolt to catch, and then once it catches, then we can tighten it up. Right? Get the bolt to touch, and then we'll tighten it up. So now, oh, there it goes. And what you do is you'll get your finger in there and you'll try to pick it up and turn it so that it'll get flush, right? Because you want it to go with the wires, right? You don't want it to go this way because it'll stand up. But there it is. Now it's nice and flush and it's centering the hole. This guy's centering the hole. The back two were the easiest ones because they're much bigger. So let's go get the skid plate on the jack and we'll put it right up on top. So tools for the job is a 3/8 ratchet with a 13mm or 1/2 inch socket and a creeper, as well as a floor jack. A second pair of hands would actually work probably too. Now what the floor jack is for is that we're going to place it on this so that we don't have to hold it in place. A rag of some sort to lay on top of your floor jack. You know, I don't want the skid plate to get dings and dents prior to taking it on the trail to get dings and dents. I know it probably doesn't make sense to most, but I try to like keep it all nice and neat. So big side to the front, little side to the rear. So much easier with the floor jack. Now you'll notice that you have hardware here, right? And so this is gonna have to go up, snug up against the gas tank, and then move it back over. Just to get proper alignment. Just up like that. So let me get the bolts and we'll get that all tightened up right there. So if you notice that, like, you got to really just kind of get the thread started and then lightly twist it so you can tighten it in there. So I'll show you on the next one too. It's really just about catching those first few threads, and that's kind of a nice little setup. I like how these deep cups fit in there. So 2 hands is definitely where you want it. All right, one to hold the deep washer, and then that gentle hand to get the thread started. And you'll know when it's in because the bolt's not falling out, so you should be good. You know, if I ever say, hey, it should be real easy, don't ever listen to me. So it's only 4 bolts, right? And you have those deep washers that go in there, but I'm pretty certain that you know, things that have tight tolerances are supposed to be a little rougher to install. So this definitely has a tight tolerance. I have one more bolt to put in. When you install this, definitely do everything really loose. Get everything inside. Use a floor jack to actually lift it up there, and then tighten everything. I thought everything that I had was loose, but it really wasn't all that loose. It really should only be a couple threads holding each one, and then tighten them up. Right now I have one bolt left over, and I'm going to use the floor jack to push that up into a position where I can get the nut on. And then we should be good. "25 foot-pounds" or a snug and a tug. Has a lock washer in there. Wow, that looks good. Looks really good. It's flush. A nice little gliding surface for boulders. So I have a little bit of a disclaimer here that this product was actually given to me by Asfir in order to provide an install video and do an honest review. This product typically costs $227 from Asfir's website, but I believe that is with their 15% discount, and they are currently offering 50% off of their shipping. So act now, order one while you can, because right now they're doing a pre-sale on this item. Who knows, with the way the inflation is going right now, this might actually be the time to buy it. The Asfir gas tank skid plate is designed specifically for the Land Cruiser structure with minimal clearance loss. It has zinc coated hardware and no drilling or cutting is needed. The skid plate weighs 22 pounds. All the hardware is included. Now, the only downside I saw to this product was that if you live in an area that has heavily salted roads and your original gas tank skid plate is suffering from that nasty old rust, and the integrity of that old skid plate is in question, or if you rock crawl heavily and your original skid plate is completely bashed up, you might not be able to use this. So definitely look at the integrity of each one of those drain holes that where the spacer nuts go. And if those drain holes are intact and you're able to put those spacer nuts inside there, then absolutely this product is for you. Provides great surface area to glide over those rocks, as well as additional strength for that gas tank skid plate. Hey, I was also informed that Asfir sent me the prototype, and so you may have noticed in some parts of the video where the drain holes aren't quite matching up. It was like 2 of the drain holes matched, but the other 2 in the back did not match. They should match on future orders. Hey guys, thanks for watching. And you know what? I'll see you on the next one.